Hey guys, this is DevGuru66. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys pretty much how to find food in Dayz, especially on official servers. Now, if you have played official servers and you are new to this game, you're going to more than likely try to find food, and it's probably going to be hard for you, especially if you do not know where to find it or how to actually get it. So as you can see right now, I just ate my plum and now I'm going to go into a different server. So in this server, it's also official, and from what I've heard and been told by other people, is that once you spawn in another official server, you're usually not going to spawn near the ocean. And I think that is actually true, just because I did spawn in a town near me right next to a military fob next to me. So one way how you can actually find food is pretty simple, and you can usually find fruits near trees. Now, not all the time are fruits going to be fresh, so you are going to have to be careful. Make sure it doesn't have any mold or it has spoiled. Trees are usually going to be your best bet, but don't always think that it's going to be on every tree, because, well, it's typically not. Now, a great way to actually find food is by actually trying to fight zombies and pretty much killing them. As you can see right here, there's that little plus indicator on an infected, and as you even look at them, it's usually going to be highlighted or have that little plus indicator on it. That indicates that they're usually going to have something on them, but just keep in mind that they're not always going to have food. They might have a knife or something else, even a can opener. As even in this clip right here, you can see my hunger is in the red and me trying to fight zombies as a last resort. And as you can see right there, I got lucky with powdered milk and that knockoff version of cola. So yeah, definitely a great way to actually get food, but also don't think of it as your last resource. This is probably going to be your best bet, especially when you start off in the game and when you spawn in. So don't be afraid to fight these zombies. Alright, but besides food, you also need to find water. So a good water source is actually going to be the well. The well is actually going to be your best bet, because you're not going to get infections, you're not going to get any type of disease, and if you find a water bottle, make sure you empty it. Do not drink what's inside, because then more than likely you are going to get some type of infection or some type of illness. You can also drink out of streams and lakes, but make sure you have chlorine tablets. But other than that, this is your best bet for actual water. Now, when going inside houses, you can typically sometimes find food, but not all the time. And you're usually going to find clothes, or sometimes even can openers, knives, or anything that's wearable or you can actually use as a weapon. But other than that, you can usually find canned foods such as beans. If you're inside a military barracks, you can usually find canned bacon, and anything that is can related, you do need to open up with a knife, a hatchet, or anything that is pretty much sharp. Your best bet is going to be the can opener. Do not use that fire axe or any type of large axe, because more than likely you're not going to get all the food that you want from it. Now, the unknown food can, I do suggest that you do not eat that. If you do, use it as a last resort, because I've seen some players that actually ate this before and they have actually gotten infected for whatever unknown reasons. So yeah, just keep note of that actually. Alright, any type of large animal such as cattle, deer, wolves are usually going to have a lot of food on them, such as steaks, fat, guts, bones. I do recommend that you actually save the bones as well as the guts. Now, you can use the fat for an actual type of wax, I guess you can say, that can actually help with torches, but that will be for another video for helping you with your core temperature. But for right now, what you can do is you can also eat the fat too, and that used to be your main primary source for actual food, just because when you ate the fat it usually stayed in your system a lot longer, but unfortunately that's not the case anymore. Alright, now when you usually kill a cattle or skin them, you're gonna have bloody hands. So wash them near a river, lake, or sometimes even if you have a water bottle, wash your hands. Because if you try to eat anything with your bloody hands, you're more than likely, you're not even more than likely, you are guaranteed to get salmonella. So be sure you wash your hands. Now when inside houses, you're usually going to run into one of two of the fireplaces. Your chimney or a red stove, and that usually is pretty small. Now the way how you usually start up the fire is pretty simple. You need some type of fuel such as sticks or firewood, but you're also going to need kindling to actually light it. And the four kindlings are rags, paper, bandages, and some type of bark from a tree. Now just because you actually have firewood and small sticks doesn't mean that it's going to light up. Definitely get the kindling, and remember the four types of kindling. Now the way how you can actually light up typical fires, you can use matches, lighters, road flares, as well as a hand drill kit. You'll see that in later, but for right now I did have matches, so that's your quickest way to actually get a fire going. Now as you can see on the bottom left hand, or bottom right hand corner I should say, you can see that little drop, and I'm pretty sure you guys noticed and you probably wanted me to talk about that. When we were actually washing our hands, our shoes got soaked and it indicates wet. So you can actually use the fire to actually dry off your wet items, but I was going to save that for another video on teaching you guys about core temperature, but this is pretty much a little, I guess, freebie. Now if you saved your bones and your guts, what you can do with your bones, especially on the condition of it and depending on how many bones you have total, if you have 9, you can use up to 2 of your bones, which will equal out to 7 bones that you have left, and you can actually make a bone knife. Just keep in mind that your bone knife is going to have a certain type of conditions as well as your bones. So yeah, just keep track of that. We'll go over tomorrow the different types of coloring and conditions. But also if you have guts, what you can do with your bone knife is make a rope. And when you use rope, especially if you're an expert at using the rope, you can use it for multiple things, but the best thing you can do is make an improvised fishing hook and an improvised fishing rod, and I'm going to show you guys right now on how to actually do that. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention, guys, is that if you have hens or small rabbits or even fish, most of the time they're not going to have guts or fat, but I know the hens and the rabbits are usually going to have bones, and I know just recently after an update the hens got feathers now to make your crossbow. But as you can see right here, we're getting a long stick, and we are going to have to be careful, especially if you're using your hands. You are going to get cut, so just be wary that when getting sticks with your hands, you can use a knife or anything else to actually chop it down without injuring yourself. Now, as you can see, we're combining the long stick and the rope to make an improvised fishing rod. And when you do that, you can usually find fishing rods and regular fishing rods on tilted boats such as that, but trying to find the hook and the rod itself is usually a pain in the ass. But this is a quick way and an improvised way to actually get a fishing rod fast. Now all you need is your bones and a knife to make a fishing or improvised fishing hook. Now again, be sure you always look at the condition of your hooks and your bones, because depending on how badly damaged they are, you can maybe get a one-time use, sometimes even two if you're lucky. But make sure you also have your knife and grab some worms. And what we're going to do now is go to the shore or go to a dock and make our improvised fishing rod work. Now that we're here, what we're going to do is get our bone fishing hook and our worm and pretty much combine them together to make the bait. Now after that, all you have to do next is get your improvised fishing rod, equip the hook, and start fishing. Now it does take some time. I got lucky with a one rotation of that circle indicator that you usually see. Most of the time for me, it was usually 1 or 3 times before I even got an actual fish. Now I am going to teach you guys another way to actually make a fire, and it's not inside a house. Because just in case if we're in the wilderness or maybe even on top of a mountain and we need to make some type of food and we have no house near us, well, don't be too worried. So what you can usually get is a small stick and a rag. Make sure you do not craft a torch, because if you craft a torch, I don't think you can actually disable or disassemble it, but if you can, make sure you do that. But other than that, just make sure you make the fireplace and then start adding some rags and the rest of your little short sticks. Now you can grab long sticks and make more short sticks by snapping them or splitting them in half. And then what you want to do to make another way to make a fire without using matches or even a lighter if you don't have any, is if you grab your knife and make get that little indicator to make a bark. Definitely use that. Grab one small stick and one of those little barks and make a hand drill kit. Not a fireplace, but a hand drill kit. And once you make that, all you're gonna do is go next to your fire, make sure you have your kindling, and ignite it. That is another way to make fire without using matches, or if your matches are damped or soaked and you can't really use them, that is gonna be your best bet. Now unfortunately for the fish that we caught, you cannot pretty much roast them like that. You're actually gonna have to cut it open in half, and it's actually pretty good because then you can actually get a little bit more food. But you're also gonna have to wash your hands again, because if you eat with bloody hands, again, you're guaranteed salmonella. Alright, now when you're getting ready to cook anything on a fireplace, whether it be meat, fish, chicken, any type of raw meat, all you need to do is find a long stick, grab a knife, make sure you sharpen the stick into a sharpened stick, and then equip any type of raw meat that you have, in this case our fillet, and then make sure that you're at a close enough range to actually stand right next to the fireplace to start roasting your meat. But anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the video. Hopefully this will help you guys, especially people who want to play Dayz but do not know how to get food. But yeah, hopefully this video is useful for you guys, but be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.